Hey there, pirates. Welcome aboard the Anime No Me channel. Luffy can now have new members in his crew, and there's even a possibility that giants might join the Straw Hat Pirates. In today's video, we will talk about the arrival of a new crew member. Make sure to like today's video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Share the video with your friends, and most importantly, comment which character you believe should join Luffy's crew. Now, let's get into the video. Guys, many important characters are expected to join Luffy for the upcoming Great Battle, which is drawing near. We are now in the land of the giants, Elbaf, where we've discovered that two characters who left the pirate life many years ago are now wanted by the Marines again. After all, chapter 1130 of One Piece revealed the bounties of Dory and Brogy, the giants from Little Garden, and each of them is worth 1.8 billion berries, totaling 3.6 billion. They were previously mentioned as allies of the Straw Hat Pirates, and this might mean they need to return to the sea. Although they may join the new giant warrior pirates, they could also join Luffy's crew. Additionally, we recently saw that Law and Kid were defeated by the powerful pirates Teach and Shanks. This has caused them to lose hope of finding the One Piece treasure. Even so, there's a chance that Law and Kid will return in the future to help Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates become the Pirate Kings. Especially Law, who has always been a great friend to Luffy. He stood by Luffy's side even when things got tough, like in the fight against Doflamingo. Even after losing the fight, Law wanted to see what would happen because he cared a lot about Luffy. If something bad happened to Luffy, Law was ready to face the same fate. Law is a very loyal friend and always helps Luffy. For example, he helped Luffy in a big battle at Marineford. This loyalty could be one of the reasons why Law might come back to help Luffy in the upcoming Great Battle. On the other hand, Kid is not as close to Luffy. He was with Luffy during the Wano arc because they had the same goal. Despite not being as close, Kid respects Luffy and sees him as a very strong pirate. It would be a bit more difficult for Kid to join the Straw Hat crew, but it's not impossible. Kid was defeated by Shanks with just one attack. Kid's crew and ship were destroyed by the giants with Shanks. We don't know if Kid is still alive since he fell into the sea, and the chances of his survival are slim. If Kid is still alive, it may be very difficult for him to continue his dream of becoming the Pirate King and finding the One Piece treasure. Shanks destroyed everything Kid had, forcing him to start from scratch in his quest. This could lead to Kid and even Law teaming up with Luffy again to find the treasure together. They might join the Straw Hat crew just to find the great treasure, without worrying anymore about becoming the Pirate King. Now, let's talk about a pirate who has a lot of respect for Luffy and could join him in the future. Charlotte Katakuri. During the Tea Party, Katakuri was a major obstacle for the Straw Hats, trying to prevent them from rescuing Sanji. After Luffy and his group managed to escape the castle, Katakuri went after them with a team, promising to capture Luffy before he became a problem for his mother. When Luffy lured Katakuri into the mirror world to stop him from following his friends, the two fought fiercely. At first, Katakuri believed that Luffy had no chance of defeating him, but he began to respect Luffy as the fight went on. Even though Katakuri claimed he wasn't underestimating Luffy, he didn't make sure that Luffy was completely defeated before pausing for a snack. When Luffy interrupted his meal and revealed his face, Katakuri realized he had made a mistake by not finishing Luffy off earlier. Furious, Katakuri tried again to defeat Luffy for good, but in his anger, Katakuri left an opening for Luffy to land a hit. As Luffy gained a slight advantage, Katakuri began to recognize Luffy's strength and understood how he had defeated Katakuri's brother, Cracker. When Luffy had to stop fighting because his special power, Gear 4, was wearing off, Katakuri chased him down to prevent his escape. However, Luffy managed to escape the mirror world before Katakuri could catch him. While resting, Luffy said he wanted to defeat Katakuri and return to fight him again. Katakuri was very impressed by Luffy's determination and began to see Luffy as a rival. Even though Katakuri wanted to defeat Luffy before he became a bigger threat, he wanted to fight with honor. That's why he was displeased when his sister Flampe interfered in the fight, and he even injured himself slightly to make the fight fairer. Katakuri even apologized to Luffy for what his sister did and used a special power, Haoshoku Haki, to knock Flampe and her helpers unconscious as punishment. During the fight, Katakuri told Luffy that he no longer saw him as a weak opponent. At the end of the fight, Katakuri was unable to fulfill his promise of defeating Luffy. Afterward, he spoke with Luffy and heard that Luffy aimed to defeat Big Mom and become the Pirate King. Katakuri believed in Luffy and wished him luck before passing out. Now that Big Mom has been defeated, her crew has lost their captain, who was feared by other pirates. Without a Yonko to protect them, Tado Land was attacked by Teach's pirates and the Germa 66. This has shown that the Charlotte family is in serious trouble. With Pudding's capture by Teach's pirates, the Charlotte family might join the Straw Hats to rescue Pudding. There's even a chance that they could join the Straw Hats in the final battle to defeat powerful enemies that are emerging and help Luffy find the One Piece treasure. Another person who might join Luffy's crew is Bonny. Although Luffy and Bonny didn't meet personally at the Sabaody archipelago, Bonny was angry with Luffy and his crew after they clashed with the Celestial Dragons. But when she read about Doflamingo's defeat, Bonny started to admire Luffy and Law. She was impressed that Luffy managed to defeat such a strong and dangerous enemy. During the destruction of the Lulusia Kingdom, Luffy and his crew saved Bonny near Egghead. When Luffy, Bonny, Chopper, and Jinbe arrived on the shore at Egghead, Bonny thanked Luffy for saving her, but reminded him that they were still rivals. Even though she considers herself Luffy's rival, Bonny seems quite happy to be with the Straw Hats at various moments in Egghead's lab. This is similar to the relationship between Luffy and Law, who, despite being enemies, still respect and have a friendship with each other. Luffy also shows that he cares about Bonny. When he was planning to escape Egghead, he searched for Bonny and Vegapunk, saying he couldn't leave them behind on the island, showing his concern for her. Now that Bonny is discovering more about her father Kuma's past, she might decide to join the Straw Hats. She could want to sail with them to try and help her father return to normal. The two teams could unite and form an alliance, which could be very important in the future, as many problems are emerging across the world. Now, let's talk about Boa Hancock, one of the most loyal characters to Luffy. Before truly meeting Luffy, Hancock thought he was just another man who wouldn't care about her. She thought all men were selfish and arrogant, but Luffy proved her wrong. Luffy is possibly the only person outside of her family whom Hancock considers a true friend and someone she can trust. Hancock fell in love with Luffy because he is brave and has a kind heart, willing to help even her sisters. This love made her sick, a sickness that caused previous Kuja empresses to lose their lives. However, Elder Nyan explained that the previous empresses died because they tried to hide their feelings and distance themselves from those they loved. But Hancock, by helping Luffy, is doing the opposite and will survive. That's exactly what Hancock did. During the great battle at Marineford, she said that all men, whether Marines or pirates, were her enemies except for Luffy. She was willing to help Luffy save his brother, Ace. Hancock is very protective of Luffy. She became so angry when she saw Smoker holding Luffy that she attacked Smoker, which greatly surprised the Marines watching. She even declared that Luffy was her beloved. Ever since Luffy arrived at Marineford, Hancock only cared about him. Whenever Luffy was attacked, she would get very upset, and if she didn't know if he was okay, she would become extremely worried. Even though Luffy doesn't feel the same way about her, Hancock wants to help Luffy whenever she can. This means that in the future, the Amazons of Amazon Lily might join the Straw Hats in the great battle to come. If the Amazons join the Straw Hats, the island of Amazon Lily could come under the protection of a Yonko. This would help prevent the Marines or other pirates from attacking the island. The revolutionaries should also act under the Straw Hat Pirates flag at that time. After all, this battle would be extremely important for the Straw Hats, who are likely to face Im-sama on the front lines. So, we would definitely see characters like Sabo and Dragon aligning with Luffy, as their affection for him is immense. But the most important thing is to know what you think about this. Who else could join them? Did I forget anyone? Comment below. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.